Have you ever lost your mojo? I've got 3 questions and a bonus one that's going to get you right back on track. Hey, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Today, I want to have a conversation with you about, well, simply this. Has there ever been a time where you just felt like your mojo was off, where your energy wasn't right, or you just felt like you were working, but maybe there just wasn't some heart behind it, some purpose, some passion? If you've ever experienced that, you're going to love this show, and you might want to share it with a few friends. A little backstory. Last year, I found myself in the month of October doing exactly that. Working, traveling, doing events, coaching. I've never been one of those people that you had to say, you're never gonna find me wearing a hustle shirt, a grind shirt. Working 12 to 16 hours a day for me is a delight when I'm doing it for a purpose, when I'm doing it for a reason, when my motive to act is absolutely on point. If you've ever been in the situation where you don't have it, you know what I'm talking about. Everything feels like a drag. You're looking at your watch all the time. Is it 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Can I go home? Well, I was feeling a little of that in my own way last October. And I had a conversation with my coach who said, so what's going on? I said, well, I was on this 6-week run, and I was busy, and I was traveling, I was doing events, and I was kind of, this city, that city, this city, that city, and it was just crazy. And she said, Tom, you are like a professional athlete. If somebody in the NBA tried to actually play a 12-month season, they would die. Do you know what I'm talking about? We need breaks, we need a rest, we need to recharge, we need to refresh. So she's reminding me of that as I'm hopefully reminding you of that. And then she said, so what are you feeling? What's the phrase? I said, I don't know if I'm tired, if I'm just uninspired. And she stopped me and she said, let me ask you a question. What's the cause? You're talking about the effect, right? Oh, I'm tired, I'm burned out, I don't feel like making calls. Those are all the effect. What's the cause? And I was like, oh, I love you, coach, great question. And I said, I know what it is. And I sat there and I reflected, and I said, you know what it was? In October, I had achieved the essence of the goals that mattered most to me for that year. I didn't achieve every one of the measurements, but the essence of what I wanted, the thing that was creating the vital urge, elan vital, that energy, I had achieved, and all of a sudden now I'm just going through the motions. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't know if you've ever been in an experience where you were just going through the motions in your work. Well, I don't want to operate like that. So she immediately gave me an assignment, and I've shared it with a few friends, and I want to share it with you. See, here's what we know. If we ask you good questions and you take the time to answer them, you are going to be on point, your mojo is going to be back, and whether this is the first day of the month or it's the last day of the month, if it's the middle of the year, it doesn't make a difference, you are going to be on point. So here's the questions I asked. Number 1, what do you really, 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 really want to achieve this year? What do you really want? Now, I know you might say, Tom, as most people when I do this, live, face-to-face, coaching sessions, big events, what do you really want? It usually comes down to money, health, and relationships. Those seem to be the 3 things that people say to me the most. And I say, beautiful, right? I want to sell this many homes, I want to do this many transactions, so I earn this much money, right? So money, health, I want to lose a little, get a little tighter, get a little stronger, feel a little more vibrant, love it, right? Relationships, I want a deeper connection, I want a stronger connection, I want a new relationship, I'm ending an old relationship, whatever it may be. It usually comes down to those 3. Now, I'm not, prescribing that to you. I'm just letting you know, 30 years later, this is the stuff that I hear. If I asked you for this year, right here, right now, what are the 3 most important things you want to achieve? What are the 3 things that you are obsessing about, that give you the fire in the belly, the energy, the passion to go do the work and making that work more purposeful, not just picking up the phone and talking to people. Does that make sense? But here's the distinction I shared recently with my friend Marnie, sitting right over here. I said, Marnie, it's not metaphorically, I want to make $100,000 a year. If you write down, I want to make $100,000 a year and I want to weigh 190 pounds and, I want to, get into a new relationship, right? The 3 things that you write down, that's okay. And it's good. It's better than not having goals. But what I want to know is, what do those goals mean to you? What's the story? Why do you really want it? And when you tell that story, does it give you a little goosebumps? Does it get you fired up? Does it make you immediately want to take action? You with me on this? To be inspired, right, is imbued with the spirit to act. It's imbued with the spirit to act. I want to get that feeling from you. What are your 3 most important goals? What do you really want? So you want to make $100,000 a year. You want to make $100,000 a month. You want to make $100,000 a week. Whatever the goal is, what does that do for you? That, my friend, that is what's going to fire you up. That's going to make you connect your heart, your head to go out and do the work. So what do you want? What do you really, really, really want? And what is the essence of it? What's the feeling behind it? You take the time. Tom, I'm not really an emotional person. If you look at my DISC profile, I'm heavy C and a lot of S, steady and calculated. Great. If you could get emotional, what would you write down? For my friends that are high I, high D, you're like, I get it. This is the emotion. I know what you're talking about. Emotion creates motion. I got to do it. So that's question number 1. The moment I took the time to answer those questions, to really think about what was possible for you the next 12 months, it was like instantly fire in the belly, ready to go, Tom Ferry's back. Question number 2. This is a big one. You ready? With those new goals, assuming you're committed to have your best year ever, right? That's the shared commitment here. Number 2, we ask, what new routines, what new skills, what new beliefs, what new processes would be required to achieve those goals more naturally and automatically? I was talking with a friend of mine, Matt, right? Huge real estate broker in New York, 1,100 agents, rock star guy. So earlier last year, he made a commitment to me. He said, you know what I want to do? I want to get in better shape. I'm like, everybody says that. What specifically do you want? And he gave me a weight goal, then he gave me an energy goal, he gave me a flexibility goal, and I'm like, Matt, I love it. Now here's the question. What new skills, what new routines, what new disciplines, what new process, what's going to be required to make it natural and automatic? Look, going to the Nike store and buying new shoes is great, but if you don't have a gym to go to, a program you're a part of, structure to make it happen, if it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist. You with me on this? Tom, I want my relationship to be better. Guess what? Date nights. What questions you're going to ask? Who's responsible? What's the new mindset? What books are you reading? Do you know your spouse's love language? You can't just say, hey, I want to sell 30 homes a year. You got to download the Tom Ferry business plan and get to the disciplines, the systems, the schedule, the organization, the lead follow-up that makes it a reality. You can't be totally by design in your business and then be by default in the other areas and expect greatness. Does that make sense? I love the question. See, remember the wonderful book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There? What got you here won't get you there. You got these new 3 inspiring, ambitious, fire you up goals. If you don't take the time to say, now, are there some new skills required to get there? Is there a new mindset shift, right? Do I have to make an adjustment there? Is there a new affirmation or a new book? Do I need to lean in and learn something new, develop, get a little more obsessed about who's doing it, who's my model, how am I gonna R&D them? If you don't take the time to do this, guess what, my friends? It just looks like a bunch of stuff you wrote down on a piece of paper. It may be inspiring for the moment, but if there's no structure, does it happen? My buddy Matt, guess what? All of a sudden, the guy is running those mud buddy runner things. Then he's doing Spartan races, and I see him, and his face is getting thinner, and he's like, I'm going to the gym X number of times every week. Like, my family's getting healthy, because he put it in place. Big shout out to you, Matt Rand. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so here's the 3rd question. You ready? Question number 3. This is where it gets interesting. So what do I really, really want? What new skills, beliefs, routines, disciplines, etc. What do I need to lean into to make it more natural and automatic? But then question number 3, you've got to ask yourself, what old beliefs can I no longer hold on to? What do I need to let go of in order to grow? What do I need to let go of in order to grow? See, if you keep holding on to the way you've always done it, that I'm looking for the book, that fixed mindset, right, of this is how I've done it, it's ethnocentric, like I'm the best, my system's the best, my process is the best, and therefore I can't do anything else, like I'm already at my capacity. That level of thinking, my friends, is not going to allow you to have more listings, more sales, best relationship, best health and vitality, better management of your money, and all the things you desire, joy, happiness, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, you got to identify, what do you need to let go of? What is the system or the process in your business that no longer serves you? What is the mindset that no longer serves you? What are the set of affirmations maybe you've been doing for years, or the mindset routine that got you to here, but they're not going to get you to there? Does that make sense? So what old thoughts, what old beliefs, what old systems, what old schedule, what old mindset no longer applies in this new reality? I was chatting with a friend recently and he said, I know I can do $2 million a year in GCI. And I said, I know you can too. What do you need to let go of? And he said, I got to let go of the fact that, you know what? I don't always make my phone calls. And he said, it's so funny now because the business is so mathematical today that we say, we know when you talk to 5 past clients and 5 new customers and do your 4 lead follow-up, those are his numbers for his plan, not a set pattern for anybody, just for him. When he does that, he achieves his goal. Well, guess what? He did it 76% of the time. Well, guess what? What percentage of his goal did he achieve last year? 78%, right there. It's math, my friends. And he said, I really got that what I had to let go of was that I would always say to myself, oh, I can do it tomorrow. I can make my calls tomorrow. I can follow up on that person tomorrow. And that kind of thinking, my friends, stymies your growth. Sure, your fight or flight brain maybe says, oh, good, I get a little free time, I don't have to make some phone calls a day. But inside, you got to ask yourself, is that serving you? Is that helping you realize your potential? So those 3 questions, you're going to see it on the Tom Ferry blog. So I know you might be writing this down, but just make sure you're looking on the Tom Ferry blog. They're all there. And I want your comments. I want your feedback. But I've got a bonus question for you. Ready? So let's say you do all that. Then I got to ask, right? What additional accountability do you need? What structure do you need? I'll give you an example. You write all these goals and you put them in your pocket and you make them a secret. Nobody knows, nobody cares, no one's involved. What happens? Generally speaking, my friends, I think we'd call that a for sale by owner. You with me on this? Tom Ferry, did you just call me a FSBO? Yes, I did. Unless you make the goals public to the people that will support you, that will encourage you, that will challenge you, that will confront you when they see you doing the wrong behaviors and gently nudge and remind you to get you back on track. That's called structure. That's called accountability. Let me ask you a question. If I ever had the wonderful chance to be invited to your home, if I pulled in and we were in your car and we pulled into the garage, would I look up in the one spot that you go through every single day? Would I see your vision board up on the wall? I'd run right upstairs to your master bedroom and I would say, show me the bathroom. And I'd look on the mirror and I'd say, are all those 3 goals there? Are you tracking and measuring in some way? Is it up and visual or is it out of sight, out of mind on a piece of paper? We'll just see what happens, Tom. Rolling the dice, another year gone by with a little bit of disappointment, some successes along the way, but you never took full responsibility for your potential. That's what we're talking about, my friend. So, heady conversation? Maybe. What do we start with? I want your energy to be right. I want your mojo there. I want you to be focused. I want you to feel purposeful, inspired, on fire, imbued with the spirit to act. You with me on this? Versus that energy-sucking vampire we've met before in our lives that they're just making phone calls, doing my thing, gotta go show some property, and right? There's not a lot of life there, like a walking cadaver. They should get in a coffin and wait. You with me on this? That's not you. We want to be fired up and ready to go and make this year your year. So I want your comments, I want your thoughts, maybe share this with a few people that you love, and let me know what else I can do to serve you, to make this your best year ever. Thank you so much for watching. Answer the questions. Answer the questions, share some comments. Love you. Talk to you soon. Hey, it's Coach Tom Ferry. Have you been considering hiring a coach? If so, click the link below and check out what we do.